Yo, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Before I get started and everything, I gotta introduce the squad. Dominique Lawson, what's going on, man?
Man, living a dream, brother. Living a dream, brother, out here in these Tennessee streets.
Yeah, man, I heard them streets cold out there, man.
It was a little nippy. Not gonna lie, it got a little nippy yesterday, but we all hanging in, man. I mean, we all can't be in the beautiful, you know, Southern
Ah, man.
California. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Where apparently it never rains.
Man, it rained like 5 times last year. I ain't even lying. Like I counted, it rained like 5 times, and one time it rained like a whole day. The other times it
Mhm.
rained, it just be for like probably about 10 minutes.
Got you.
Yeah, man. Looking at this 75 degrees today.
Woo! That's nice. That's real nice.
Yeah, yeah, man. So big shouts out to everybody. Lawrence, y'all know who y'all fight for our country,
Right.
and he had a few things he had to do today, and he needed to get a little rest. So if he don't hop on today, y'all, guess who got his six? These guys
Absolutely.
right here.
Absolutely. All day and every day.
Yeah, man. So if you hadn't already, before we get started, if you hadn't already, go to our YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Do that. It's very, very important.
Please, dude.
Yeah.
Please, dude. We need them subscriptions. As we say in Memphis, subscription. You got to put the R in there. Subscriptions.
And it don't take nothing to do. It's free of charge.
Right.
It's free of charge, so we're not asking nothing out the way. If you just get on, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell for all notifications. So when we do get together with the show, which is episode 2, when we do get together, you all will know off top where we at, how to find us. It will alert y'all at by any means. It will alert y'all. So, Dominique, man, what's going on, man? How was your Christmas?
Christmas is okay. Christmas is okay. We have a dual faith home here in the Lawson house, and
Hmm.
so that means my daughter Zoe makes out like a fat cat. She gets the 8 gifts on Hanukkah, and then
Hanukkah,
she gets
then
the
Christmas.
big explosion of gifts on Christmas Day. So as always, she every year she gifts us, makes out like a fat cat. But no, it was good. It was peaceful. A little calm. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. But as always, it's a little different because pandemic, all this
Yeah,
other stuff like that. But I had a Zoom call with family and friends and stuff like that. So that
yeah.
helped out. That helps out.
That's great. That's great. Over here, man, it was pretty much smooth. I made a thing where every Christmas go to the beach. So I don't
Mhm.
care wherever I'm at in the world. Every Christmas, I'm gonna pack up and go to the beach, man. So it
That's
was,
what's up.
yeah,
That
it was
sounds like a
looking,
plan.
yeah, man. It looked real good on paper. It looked better when you're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
I bet. I bet.
So, man, we're here today. We want to talk to y'all pretty much about. Matter of fact, Dominique, can you do the honors, brother?
We're going to talk about networking, and networking is super important. Honestly, I love making sports analogies, and this one just fits perfectly, right? We all talk about Michael Jordan and how great he is and stuff like that. But a lot of times, when we talk about superstar athletes, they have all the talent in the world, but not the work ethic. And so Michael Jordan, in his instance, had like the work ethic and the talent, had the God-given ability, and put the work ethic behind it. When you're talking about your business and throwing networking in there, it's the same thing. You can have an amazing business. It can be fantastic. You can have a fantastic product, but you got to put that networking piece in there because I'm sorry, people only buy stuff from people they know. So if you ain't out here, building relationships and stuff like that, I'm sorry, you have a fantastic idea. But if nobody knows about it, it's all for naught. It's that simple.
Yeah, right, man. You couldn't. I couldn't have said it any better. And the thing that we're doing is Kings of Company. We want to uplift entrepreneurs for sure.
Facts.
But if
That's
you
why
are
we
in a
do this.
yeah, but if you are in a business and you are working for somebody and you're trying to move up just in the company, all of these things in networking will help you within
Still
that
applies.
business. Yeah, it
Still
still
applies.
applies. So man, we're gonna have an awesome show today. This is episode 2, by the way. And make sure you do this. Go on YouTube and subscribe today. So important. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel so y'all can get so y'all can get the notifications whenever we go live. And it looks like we're going to be going live every month now.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, second and fourth Tuesday of every month. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna see y'all Tuesday of in the next 2 weeks. And we're gonna have some more knowledge out there kicking. And I got my pad right here. I learned too. So it's not like it's not like we just
Right.
no, we teach each other. And
We
and
do. We do.
and then off camera, if y'all could just see us off camera, man, it's crazy. It's like we just going to school, man. It's what they say,
Right.
having church when two or more on one accord.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing, sharpens iron sharpens iron, and that's one of the beauties of networking. You get to learn from other people in your craft, not in your craft, stuff like that. So, because the thing is, like, there's always something, even if the person does the exact same thing as you, or they don't. There's always something to learn, and there's always something to add to the arsenal of your career path moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully you all are taking notes as well. And I want y'all to know that y'all can comment at any time. Comment at any time.
Come
I'm
on
telling
in
you,
the room. Come
cause
on in the room.
we want you all's reactions. We want you all's questions, and that's what's gonna feed us the fuel to keep it going. And we want to just help as many people as we can. And it's something that we say that may help us as business owners, entrepreneurs. So make sure y'all put your questions in there. If y'all just want to speak, make sure y'all speak. I want y'all to talk as much as possible. This one classroom that you can talk all day. You won't get in trouble. No rulers around here.
Yeah, man. You gotta stay away from them.
Yeah, man. So, Dominique,
Mm-hmm.
you're always the leader when it comes to this, man.
Right.
And we're talking about networking today, man. So
Gotcha.
I want you to just go about it. Explain to us your definition of networking and how it could be beneficial to um, us individually and the people around us.
Right. So, like I said, when it comes to networking is that other piece. Like, and Fahar said it beautifully earlier. It doesn't matter if you building a business or trying to scale that corporate ladder, you gotta build those relationships, because just like people don't buy stuff from people they don't know, honestly, people don't promote people they don't know, right? I mean, unfortunately, it's one of those things where it's like a good day's work will only get you so far. Sometimes you gotta go out on those corporate retreats. Sometimes you gotta slap backs and have a few drinks after work or something, like not too many, but a few, right? To kind of build that social capital. And then, once you get to like where you want to spend that social capital in the form of a raise, in the form of a promotion, in the form of a special assignment, special project, whatever that is, you want to have a lot of social capital built up, and that's just super important. Because look, like I said, some of the advantages that come to it, like opportunities open up, and you want to be in a position to take advantage of said opportunity. It could be a situation where somebody, like I said, somebody moved on to another company, somebody moved up. So they're going to like, hey, who was that person that was mentor or was a mentee to the person we just hired? So clearly, if that person got promoted, they doing a fantastic job. And so they're going to look, they was mentoring Fahar, and clearly he did a good job here and he was mentoring Fahar. So, clearly we want to keep that, succession of success, forgive the redundancy, that succession of success to keep going. So it just makes sense to hire this person in that role that was just vacated, and if you're a person who is the entrepreneur in that case, look, networking builds leads, right? I can't tell you how many times that I talked to one person and they didn't do anything that I do at the surface of it all. They didn't see a connection as far as like how we can work together, whatever the case may be, right? But see, that person knows somebody, and that person knows 3 people, and that person knows 6 people, and so on and so on and so on. Honestly, networking, you're casting out a net, right? Even if you're only talking to one person, you're casting out a net because that person knows other people, right? And you just never know where it may lead. Like for me, it's gotten me speaking opportunities. It's gotten guests for my my podcast or whatever. So it like networking, I cannot tell you how beneficial it is because the thing is like and believe it or not, some people can kind of get away with just networking alone. I don't recommend that, but it just goes to show how powerful networking is, right? Like, me and Fahar, we're Star Wars fans. We're always talking about balancing the force, right? That balance is super important. The heart, having a great product and business and having that networking piece. The networking piece is that other side. But, like a lot of people can kind of get around and like fake it till you make it a lot with networking. Like I said, that bill gonna come due, but it just goes to show once again how important networking is and how much and how beneficial it can be to whatever your field of endeavor it is, whether it be building a business, going up the corporate ladder, or even if you're a nonprofit, and you're trying to build, some capital or you need board members. Networking will help you fill those voids to find those board members. Networking will help to fill the void when it comes to getting that capital, so that way you can do the philanthropy you want to do with the nonprofit. Like networking, there is no space, and I'll just kind of end this part of it with that. There is no space in life where networking isn't beneficial. I don't care what it is. You name whatever you want. Teaching, construction, clergy, I don't care. Networking is important through all of that.
You're right about that. 100% right about that, man. So when we getting on to it, man. So what you want to start off talking about? Do you have anything in particular?
I want to talk about one particular thing before we kind of dive into it, right? Because I know a lot of times, there's a lot of fear in like going up to people you don't know. Let's be honest, right? People, it goes like, hey, man, this dick, oh no, go running away, right?
Right.
But look, if I'm being honest, okay, when at a networking event or wherever the case may be, honestly, you go to a networking event, honestly, like that first, like when you go up and talk to somebody or they come up to talk to you, only about the first 30 to 60 seconds is awkward. Yeah. After that, it's like riding a bike, right? Think about the time you first learn how to ride a bike. You handlebars all shaky, you fall off a few times, but after a while you get it. Networking is the same way in that regard. That first 30 to 60 seconds is super awkward, but if you get past that and you have like a 30-minute conversation, who knows? So it's just really important to go ahead and sacrifice that awkward 60 seconds for a possibility of a lifetime relationship that can build, towards your business, towards your career, or wherever the case may be. And also, and I know it may not seem like it, but, you can also network online. I network online all the time and it doesn't have to be LinkedIn. I think a lot of times people think that the only way business stuff is LinkedIn, which, I mean, I get why you say that, but that's not entirely true. It's not the only way, right? I've gotten a lot of connections through Facebook. I've gotten a lot of connections through Twitter. Now, LinkedIn is the most professional one. Let's be honest, right? But you reach people how you reach people, yeah. right? You know, that's what's important. It's not how you got there, it's that you got there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so you know, if you want to, you know, go around the mountain, or you want to go straight through it, you got to the other side, didn't you? That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
So I think you know, when it comes to having that fear, just you know, just know that, like, honestly, the first 30 to 60 seconds can be a little awkward. You get past that part, it's no problem. But also just know that, like, look, you just never know. Be comfortable with where you network, how you network, and stuff like that. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, the person you're talking to is just as awkward and as scared and as fearful as you are. So I mean, y'all might as well be awkward and scared together and just get to know each other, and then start to slowly branch out. But you know, I think before we kind of move forward, I wanted to kind of get that point out. But that, like, you know, we got to take the fear out of networking. Okay, we got to take that, because I think that's the biggest part that people can't get over, that hurdle, is that fear part.
Yeah, I find that with a lot of entrepreneurs that they call themselves quiet. I'm a quiet person. I'm a stand in the background person.
You right. I was just going to say, you always see him. You always know. You know, you always see him in the back and stuff like that, right? But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. And but the thing is, even with you all, that's like that. And what's crazy, you would never think that, but that's me. It's like that's me.
You're not just live, dog.
Listen. When I do shows and I go places and I do a lot of this stuff is for work. So it's my job. I'm getting paid. So I have to be a chameleon and adapt to wherever I am.
Right.
And I have to be that person that they want me to be by still staying in my own character. So for people that that's not in the public eye and not having to stand in front of thousands of people and talk at a time, that's one thing I am comfortable with. See, that's the difference. It's like when I'm in it, I'm straight. Because I said something to Dominique before we went on the live, but like now I'm straight.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because like it's like my mind, and you may do this when you out networking yourself. In your mind, you just don't feel like it sometimes.
It's true.
And sometimes in your mind, you just like, okay, well, he got on a suit. I don't need to talk to him. I need to talk to somebody over here with a T-shirt on, just like me, you know.
Right.
But the thing is, it's not what they got on. And we got to kind of get out of our minds a whole lot, because our minds keep us from the $1 million deal that we could have had.
Facts.
And it stopped us because we felt we didn't feel like it. So I just want to encourage those people, even when you don't feel like it and you got a business that you want to do this for the rest of your life and not have to work for anybody else, I'm telling you, it's worth it.
It's more than worth it. Again, think about it this way. Be willing to sacrifice 30 to 60 seconds of awkwardness for possibly a lifetime of a very profitable, successful business relationship, because business relationships are hard to come by. Let's just be honest about that. They really are. But, you know, I think, you know, one of the things it's important to do at a networking event or something like that, or when you're networking, is be confident. That is super important. And if that's something that you struggle with, you know what you really could do? Bring a wingman. Bring a wingman to the networking event. Like, I'm serious.
Just like you go to the club and you take the other girl or the other guy.
You network. I mean, when you go to the club, you network it. I know it may not seem like it. It seem different, but it's the same dynamic. You got that one dude who flashy. You got that other dude who quiet. You know, you got the other people who can just kind of hang out at the bar, whatever the case may be. I've only been to a club twice. I just assume this is how it goes. But what my point is that, like, the dynamics are the same. They are the exact same. So bring a wingman. And honestly, and if you feel, you know, like afraid to go up to people, there's 2 ways you can make people come to you. There's two ways, okay?
Let's go.
The first one is this. When you go to a networking event or something like that, you know, and there's like a place where you all go and sit down, because, you know, sometimes networking events have like speakers and stuff like that, where you're sharp as shoot, sit in the front, and as soon as they have like a question and answer period, ask the very first question.
Yeah.
Like shoot up. Because like I can't tell you how many times, Fahar, I've done that. And I can hear him in the background. Man, who was that? Man, I don't know, but he sound important. Right? And so after a while, like people start coming like, I want to get your business card. I really liked what you had to say or something like that. You could have said a whole bunch of crap. But like if you say crap with confidence, people will give you the benefit of the doubt, right?
Right.
You know, they will give you the benefit of the doubt. The second thing is if you're at a networking event and they have food, go stand by the food. Everybody coming, I'm serious. Everybody coming to the table. Everybody coming to the table, right? You know, so it's like, yeah, if you don't want to go to them, go stand by the food. They'll come to you. They'll come to you. Where's the lie, Fahar?
Hey, nothing but truth. And and I know he's not lying because I invited him to one of my speaking events that was put on by LaToya Crowder.
Mm-hmm.
And him and First Lady came through and they said as close as they could when they got there. And once we did the question part, he was one of the first people, if not the first person, to answer a question. Asked a question, and he asked a question for everybody that was on the platform that day. And this is how good that works. People remember him so. The next one, guess who was sitting beside me speaking?
That's true. That did happen.
It's sitting beside me speaking on entrepreneurship, man. So I hope y'all are really getting all of this together. Like I said, I got my notes as well, and I'm ready to. This when I'm looking down, a lot of times I'm looking and I'm typing stuff in on my iPad because I need this information as well. If you do have any questions, like I said at the beginning of this video, this is the only class you won't get in trouble for talking out of turn. Please get in there.
Yeah, ain't no Miss Miller in here, man. You good.
Yeah, no.
You good. That's an inside joke, folks. That's an inside joke.
We went to the same high school. And mind you, you probably wouldn't know by listening to us talk right now. We came from Westwood, and Westwood was not the best of neighborhoods in our city, and we came out of it. And Dominique over there, he's just interviewing millionaires on the startup life, and I'm doing my thing over here, and just to say that if you're from a neighborhood, and I know this off subject, but this kind of got me there in that feeling. Mm-hmm. If you're from a place where it was rough, it's things like that, I'm letting you know that you can get out of that. You can move forward. You can start your own company. You can be third, fifth, sixth in command at a Forbes business. You can do this because just looking at me and him, you wouldn't even imagine the neighborhood we came from into what we're doing today, man. So that's just a blessing for us to still to be doing what we're doing and still be in touch with each other. And man, it's been a long ride. man,
absolutely. And that brings us back to networking, man. Like, look. It don't matter where you come from, right? You know, like you got that confidence or whatever, man. Like people will put you on some game. You'll be like, damn, I ain't even think about that. You know what I mean? Like, because while I was living in Westwood, you know where I got a lot of my like startup fundamental entrepreneurship game was working at the bank and watching commerce flow through that branch or whatever, right? And listen to the conversations that were happening around me, right? And that's another thing about networking, man. Don't be afraid to ask a question.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask a question because here's the thing. When you ask somebody a question, that means you're interested in what they are talking about.
Right.
And honestly, let's be honest. Most people like to hear themselves talk. Most people like to talk about themselves. That's one of those things about if you're trying to, you're worried about awkward sounds, just ask that person about them. They'll keep talking.
Right.
They'll keep talking. But back to my original point, if you ask them about something they're talking about as far as like business or whatever their interest is, right? They may invite you to like, hey, you want to come fishing with me? Hey, you want to go play some golf? You don't know how to play golf? I will teach you how to play golf, right? And we all know in business, man, it be a lot of business transactions happening on a golf course.
It's the rich man's sport.
Right. You know, or a tennis court, or you know, or backgammon, whatever that dude, you know, or woman is into. The point is that, like, don't be afraid to ask questions, right? The smartest person in the room, or the smartest person ever, is the person that is willing to say, I don't know. Right. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Right. Because you're showing a general interest, and those people want to, like, you may be interested in this. And so those people will have board meetings like, hey, I want to bring this kid in because he seems interested in what we're doing. It may be a good experience for him and stuff like that. That is how, you know, no matter, because I came from Westwood or wherever the case may be, that is how I was able to, like, turn that knowledge and get inside the room where it happens and figure out, you know, what these people are talking about, what them boardroom conversations talking like. And that's how you're able to switch it up on them. Yeah, I may come from Westwood, but don't let the name fool you. Okay? Don't let the name fool you, okay?
Hey, you sure right about that, man, because I've seen it. So, hey, yo, we about to get started, y'all, and I want to make sure if you all like anything that we're saying today, and you want to do something for us, because we doing this for free, I want y'all to know that y'all can go right here on Cash App and you all can donate. If we say something that touches you, or something that's really beneficial to something that you're doing, a business you're starting up, or something at your current job, just let it be known that we take donations as well. And Absolutely. We thank y'all so much for tuning in. So, Brother Lawson.
Yes, sir.
Which what would I call Brother Lawson to me? The charismatic genius.
Oh, don't stop it.
The charismatic genius. I just want you to talk to the people for a few about networking more in detail, about what this episode 2 is about, and how it could benefit yourself and it could benefit others around you.
Absolutely.
Hey, you got the floor.
Absolutely. So, you know, another thing about networking and stuff like that is, like, if you can, like, if you go to a networking event or before you talk to somebody, the beauty about LinkedIn is that, like, if 9 times out of 10, if they're a professional of some matter, you can do, you know, reconnaissance before you even meet the person, right? Before you even meet some of the people that's going to be there, right? You sometimes, if you ask the person who's put on a networking event and stuff like that, because that's where a lot of networking happens, right? Like some type of, you know, business brunch or something to that effect, right? You know, so you can kind of get an inside track if you ask the promoter event, like, hey, who are going to be there, right? You get a list, put a LinkedIn, you know, stuff like that, put the LinkedIn information in. You can find out who they are, what they're all about, stuff like that. And then you can go in to that room and to that networking event with some bullet points to talk about all top. You know what I'm saying? So right then and there, already before you even step inside the door of the networking event, you already have some bullet points and some stuff to talk about. So that way you're not feeling awkward. You're not feeling less confident or anything like that. And that's super important. When we already talked about, you know, if you're afraid to go up to people, stand by the food, bring a wingman and stuff like that. But one of the things, and this is going to be super important, and I know you've heard it before, an elevator pitch. Like, look, like, you know, when it comes to, you know, presenting yourself, presenting your company, presenting your cachet of expertise, if you will, right? That elevator pitch is key, right? You know, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows what elevator pitch is. It's basically like a 15 to 30 second, you know, spiel about who you are, what you're about, and stuff like that. But one of the things I want to, you know, kind of impress upon you is, and you don't want to do this every time because you're not always there to sell something specific. But when you do an elevator pitch and somebody asks you about, like, you know, what do you do? Don't be afraid to ask for something in return, right? It don't have to be like money, whatever. It can be a business card. It can be to get lunch later on, you know, because, like, if you feel like that's a relationship you want to kind of build upon, don't be afraid to ask for that relationship. Like, because look, that's the name of this game, right? Relationships matter. Who you give your time to matters, and who allows you to be part of their time matters as well. I do want to say this as well. Look, business cards are fine. Let's be clear about that. But don't hand them junks out like candy. Come on, man. Don't. Business cards and flyers are two different things, right? You hand out flyers to everybody, right? Everybody gets a flyer. Everybody gets a flyer. Everybody gets a flyer. But business cards are special, okay? Them is special, right? You give a business card to somebody, that like you've already had some type of great conversation. You want to keep that going and stuff like that. Far too often, I see people, not flyers, business cards. I see people just go around business card, business card, business card, business card, business card. And I'll get a business card. Like, I don't even remember who this dude is. I don't know why he gave it to me. It's like the graphics fresh, but like it don't even say what he do. Like, what do I call you for? Right? So I'm not saying that it's something wrong with giving out business cards. It's just that they're made for a purpose, and they're not made for the same purpose as a flyer or a rat card or whatever they call them, whatever the case may be. So business cards, they are essential to building relationships and stuff like that, but don't hand them out just like candy, man. Like, everybody shouldn't get your business card. Everybody shouldn't get your business card because everybody don't deserve your business card.
Yeah, and I want to say something right there, and I'm glad you brought that up, is because a lot of people, I've been to a lot of networking events. They don't even say nothing to you. They walk past and, oh, here's my business card. They don't even say anything. They say, here's my business card. I'm like, now that's cool with a flyer because you can go back and look at the flyer. And,
exactly.
Yeah, because Dominique, when I do my stuff, I have flyers. You know
what
I'm saying?
Exactly.
I have flyers. But when it comes to those business cards, you got to be selective.
Gotta be. Because like I said, it's like, who are you? Like, I don't know. I'm not being a jerk. Let's be clear about it. I'm not being a jerk. I'm being serious. Like, who are you? Why are you giving me a business card? Why should I call you? Right? Every once in a while I say, like, whoever is detailed and stuff like that. All right, maybe I'll call you. I don't know. Maybe I'll call you. I don't know. But I guess my point is that, like, you give business cards out to conversations and people that are memorable. Right, you just going around handing them out like like candy, man. It's like, I'm not going to remember that because like there's no, all I'm gonna remember is you give me a business card. That's it. That's all I'm gonna remember. I'm not gonna remember if we talked about our kids. I'm not gonna remember if we talked about shared hobbies. I'm not gonna talk about this business, whatever issue I've been having, stuff like that. Which brings me to another point when it comes to networking. Look, and we talked about this a few times. Entrepreneurship is a language that only entrepreneurs for the most time speak. Same thing for like business professionals and stuff like that. The thing is that like your adversities or triumphs, because you want to share triumphs too, but especially those adversities, your adversity may be something that somebody else has already solved because they went through that adversity, right? So if you can get that previous intel, right, from somebody else, that means you can go through that adversity a lot faster than you probably otherwise would have, right? Yeah, but because look, like I said, people come with not only their expertise, they come with their experiences, right? And those experiences matter, right? They're like, oh, you know what? I check it out, and they also may not have a contact person to help you get out that way. It's like, you know what? I went through the same thing. Here's the number to XYZ at the Chamber of Commerce. Contact him on Monday. Tell him, Dominic sent you. He got you. He gonna tell you exactly what to do, who to talk to, what paperwork you need, XYZ. Right? But if you are afraid to talk to people, you will never get any of that information. Right. That person might be that one person that you're afraid to talk to. Because you ain't want to go stand by the table. That one person might be the one who cracks the code to the barrier that you're going through currently. They just might.
and you'll never know if you don't ask.
But I guarantee you will never find out if you don't do it. That's 100%. Them 100%. I guarantee you they won't help you if you never go talk to them. And maybe it is a 1% the chance they. I'm sorry, 1% is more than 0%. It just is.
Right.
It just is.
Right. So is anything more you want to speak on the subject, man? Because it's like it's so much to talk about.
It is.
So,
It is. And there is no like one problem fits all, one solution fits all thing, right? You got to kind of read people, and that's the part of networking that kind of it throws you off, man. You got to read people, read the room, stuff like that. Another thing you don't want to do is talk religion and politics. That's always kind of like that's like throwing a bomb in there, like right. You want to stay away from conversations like that. But I think one of the most important things is when it comes to trying to build a network, start small, right? Start with your friends and family and the network you have now, right? You don't have to just go out and go cold turkey with some brand new person all the time, right? You want to start with what they call warm lead first, right? Who does your family know? Who does your friends know? Who do the business contacts you already have? Who do they know? Start there first, right? Because you want to build easy wins first, and then after you exhaust all that, then you go outside of your current network, and then you go on LinkedIn and search. I need a contractor for this. I need a consultant for that, right? And then you start reaching out to those people directly. But you start with your circle first. Start with your circle first.
right. And that's great information. And like I said earlier, man, I want y'all to chime in. I want y'all to be a part of this because we got quite a few people in here, Dominique. I know you probably can't see how many people actually in here. We're on live on Facebook and YouTube right now, by the way. So we thank you all from both platforms to come tuning in with us. So Dominique, man, you said a lot of stuff, and I know it's going to help a lot of people because you said one thing in particular that I'm gonna talk to you outside of this about because it was very needed and it was very beneficial for things that I'm doing. So I appreciate that, bro, for sure.
Man, we all here to help each other, man. Like, you've helped me so much over the past years. Like the thing with TikTok is like, you know what? I never thought about that. and so nah, man, iron sharpens iron, brother.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that, man. So I want to go ahead and speak a little bit. Hopefully,
speak to the people, brother.
hopefully you get something out of it. I'm just so happy and excited to be on a platform like this with my brothers, man. It is a total honor to be able to do this with you all. And I know I say that kind of stuff a lot, but y'all just gotta understand, man.
Likewise.
When it comes to helping people, oh my gosh, man, it's so hard sometimes to get somebody to help you, especially in business, because they'll help you to a point that you don't get farther than them.
Right.
And
that's the thing. You're talking about the people we talk to on the startup life, right, and stuff like that. And these are like wildly successful people, right? Like wildly successful, right? They be like busting at the seams to give information. Yes. It's funny, like people who are like, who you would deem mid-level successful or wherever the case may be. Those are the ones you got to talk about, right? Like, I ain't giving him nothing. I don't want him to outdo me, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But those people at the very, who you would consider at the very top, they throw it at you. They throw it at you. And like, you sure? Because I can't tell you how many times I didn't like, I don't want to keep you. If you can give me 30 minutes, I'll talk to you. And we talk for like an hour and a half. Yeah. Right? Like, no, let's keep going. I like this conversation. Let's keep going. Because the thing, like, they want to help people. And I just think extremely successful people and good-hearted people just want to help other people because you know how hard it's been for you. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. And that's one thing I learned about when I moved to California. It's a totally different vibe. I mean, it's a culture shock.
Right.
and to see so many people wanting to help each other. You know,
Facts.
it's amazing. It's beautiful, and I'm glad. I'm so glad that I'm blessed to be a part of it. So I wanted to give y'all some of the tools that helped me um, in the past. And Dominique, listen to him talk, you would think I'm the king of promotion. And but
Look, man. Look, when it comes to promotion and marketing and even networking, man, like, look, bro, I take notes. Believe me. Believe me, I take notes. Hey, before we cut out, I just remember I want to share some books. You know, I
go
got
ahead,
to
go
share my
ahead.
books, right? You want me to do that
Yeah,
now? You
we
want me to
gotta
do it
do
later?
something about that too. We gotta do something about that. We're gonna
Okay,
talk about it off screen. Yeah.
I got you. I got you. You know, well, there's one book. Well, there's two books actually. You know, because we're talking about networking and stuff like that. The first one is Entrepreneur to Millionaire, right? So this book actually doesn't come out until February 2nd, right? And it's by Kent Bingsley. Kent Bingsley is a revenue growth coach. The forward is written by Mark Cuban, by the way, for that book. You know, he used to work for Ross Perot, and he talks about networking, being around the right people and stuff like that. So that's one book I'll suggest. That book comes out in February 2nd. But this book right here is already out. The Business of Friendship by Shasta Nelson. This is a fantastic book, and it talks about like how, you know, you spend a lot of time with people in the business that you created or at work. You know, it's okay to build a friendship with some of those people, right? And sometimes those friendships lead to a more profitable business. They lead to a more successful career. So the Business of Friendship by Shasta Nelson is also, those are two books that I think you should kind of think about when it comes to networking and stuff like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And we're gonna make sure we have those things available for you after the show, where we will release to YouTube. So
Mm-hmm.
we make sure we have that information for you all, because I'm telling you, man, these books got a lot of knowledge in them. If you don't know, a
A lot of
lot of knowledge.
And the thing is that like I've talked to these people on the show, so which means by talking to us, you're connected to them now, right?
Right, right. I mean, I watch the show, and the show is a part of something. The show is a part of Main Event 901 Radio,
Yes,
and
it
it's a
is.
beautiful platform for people, entrepreneurs, and people. It's just a good talk in general. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, it's just a good talk, and it's a good listen. So, but I want to share a few things with you all for me. And the first thing I want to share is being prepared. Um, be prepared wherever you are. Be prepared. Simply because I network everywhere I go. Literally. If I walk out the house to take out the garbage, I got something in my pocket that I can give somebody to let them know. Like, I wear these rubber bands, and I got my .com and stuff printed on the rubber bands, and I give them out. I buy them and I give them out. Like, and they was like, oh man, I like this shirt. Or they talk to me. I be like, yo, give me one of my rubber bands. Like, what's your rubber bands? Oh, this is my .com and my YouTube channel. And so that now we having a conversation about the rubber band that has my information on it. Now you can't forget who I am, because people wear the rubber bands all day. Like, I was wearing them before I started printing my own. I used to wear them with my clothes. You know what I'm saying? My everyday wear. I put a rubber band on and match it, because I like jewelry and I like wearing bracelets and watches and stuff. So it's like my arms are used to bracelets and watches. So when I put the rubber band on, it takes the place of the silver bracelet, and it takes away the silver watch. You see what I'm saying? So being prepared in any way possible. When you go to a vendor event, and for instance, if you got your business cards available, you got your flyers available, or you got, matter of fact, oh man, my key's not down here. I got this thing on my keychain, and you put it down on your phone, and it picks up the phone gets all my information and automatically loads it to your phone. I wish I had it down here right now, and I meant to get it, but I've been moving so fast today to get set for this show. But be prepared at all times. I don't care if you're at the gas station. I don't care if you're at church, whatever you do, you at work. But if you have a business and you feel as genuine about it as I do about my businesses, be prepared because I'm always prepared when it comes to the thing that I want to do for the rest of my life, the business I want to build for my family. So when I die, I leave something to them that's profitable. So the things that I did in my life can live on to the future. What's your thoughts on that, Dominique?
I mean, look, come on now. Like, you always got to be prepared. Like, let's just be honest about that. I mean, well, you never want to get caught slipping. You never want to get caught slipping, right? Like, look, when it comes to business, right? I ain't gonna talk about other stuff because there's a whole lot of unrest, political unrest going on, stuff like that. When it comes to business, you live in the greatest country on earth.
Right.
You just do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You just do. When it comes to business and commerce and transactions,
Yeah.
ain't nothing like the United States. Right. Which means that like all this commerce and transactions flowing around you, stuff like that, all you need is to be right one time. And but you always got to be prepared though, right? Because you never know when the opportunity is going to come up again, right? So having your ducks in a row, having your LLC, your .com situated, stuff like that, like you don't want to get caught slipping because that could be the times like, yeah, we want to do business with you. Like, look, where's your .com at? Hey, what? Huh? Let me get back to you.
I'm working on it.
Right. So classic scenario, right? I think I tell this story a lot, but I can't remember if I told in the Kings of Company. Just real quick, Hulk Hogan in the George Foreman grill. That thing was supposed to be called a Hulk Hogan grill, but Hulk Hogan, he wanted to do it. He missed the phone call though. It's like, hey, you didn't answer the phone. We went to George Foreman, and I forgot how much George has made from that grill, but it's all because Hulk Hogan missed the phone call.
Wasn't prepared. Hey, listen, I seen Hulk Hogan talking about that. I actually seen him talking about that because they asked him what's one of the biggest things he's passed on in his life, and he said the George Foreman
grill.
Yeah, man. So that's really interesting.
Got
caught slipping, man. So I do want to get to it because I don't want to have y'all long. Okay. The next thing that I have that's beneficial to me and what I use when I'm networking is developing relationships. It's not always just going up to talk to somebody and all that kind of stuff. No, it's not always that, and it's not always about selling your product. It's not all about you all the time, because while you developing a relationship, you're understanding their business, they're understanding your business, and now they may not be the people that can help you, but they may know somebody that can help you, and based off the relationship you develop with them, they say, hey, yeah, I met this guy named Dominique Lawson. He got this show called The Startup Life. I think that it would be good if you were to talk to him and go on his show. Now, that may have happened to the person you developed a relationship with, but by the time he got to the sixth person, the seventh person is the one that's actually going to be the help, the one that's actually going to make the phone call or call your manager, and things like that. If you're into the arts or entertainment and anything like that, so developing the relationship, that can be as easy as walking up to them. That can be as easy as standing by the food. That could be as easy as looking the part.
Big one.
So Dominique, what you got on that?
Two things about that. The first one is, when we talk about developing a relationship, something that I do that works very successful for me is when I meet somebody and I know they're about, like a nonprofit or something that I can help with, I offer to help. A few years ago, this guy, he had this nonprofit called One Step Initiative. Basically, it was an initiative here in the Memphis area where he helps young kids who otherwise would not have the ability to travel abroad, right? To travel abroad, to be like a foreign exchange student somewhere, right? And I was like, bro, I know the ins and outs. I don't even know where I can help. I just want to help you, right? I just want to be a part of what you're doing. And so when you offer that initially, and when you do offer it, and you actually help or whatever the case may be, do the best job possible. They paid you, don't pay you, or you offer to help, do the best job possible. That person, and I'm not saying this is why you do it, it's just a byproduct of it. That person gonna feel so indebted for you. They're like, I gotta pay him back. I gotta pay him back. I gotta pay him back. Yeah. I don't know what I gotta do for him. I don't know, I gotta pay him back. From that person, I got in speaking engagements. I got into meetings I otherwise wouldn't have got into, stuff like that. All because, like, bro, I believe in what you doing, fam. We need this. What can I do? What can I do to help? What can I do to help? Well, what can Dominic do for you? You know what I'm saying? Right. And that second thing is, look, that relationship can be so long. And like Fahar said, it's not always about like, selling something, trying to, get money or whatever the case may be. You may find out you went into a networking event trying to be professional, stuff like that. You may find a whole new best friend. That happens too. Right. And honestly, and then 7 years down the line, that best friend like, hey, we working on this contract or whatever with this hotel or whatever. And they were saying, hey, do you know anybody who does landscaping? Like, man, look, this dude over here, my really good friend, man. This dude will cut Santa Claus in your yard if you want him to. Like, that's how good he is, right?
Crafty.
Right, exactly, right. My point is that, like, you may go in trying to get a business professional relationship. It may turn into a personal one, and even that personal one may still end up being something, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line come beneficial. There are things I'm benefiting from now that I laid the foundation for years ago.
Right.
Years ago, right? I'm like, man, I haven't talked to you about how, and then you start remembering, like, how's your wife Gina and stuff like that. I heard you got a new son, Mazel Tov, man. You had a new baby boy and stuff like that. You know what I mean? My point is just like when you build those relationships and you remember little small stuff like that, or oh my goodness, when you remember somebody's birthday, or like, their born day, or, wherever you want to call it, right? When you remember, like, that makes everything for that person, right? And like I said, again, that person is gonna feel indebted to, like, I gotta pay him back. I gotta pay him back. This dude came through for me in the clutch. I need him. I gotta pay him back. So when you develop those relationships, see what you can do for that person. Have a service mindset first when you meet that person. Like, what can I do for you? Like, or not like a non-profit. Man, I ain't got no money. I can't cut a check, but I give you some time.
Yeah, I give you some time.
Kids. And honestly, the time's more valuable than the check. It just is.
Right, and that's facts, man. That's facts. And like, I want to move on, but if anybody got any questions about that, because that's really important. I'm telling y'all, developing that relationship with the people is really important.
Gotta do it.
And you said something that was key. You said something that you started years ago, and now it's helping you today. And that's kind of how I am with IVD Press. I started years ago on Facebook, and I just took it to the Instagram platform and the YouTube platform, and networking with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And now in a month, almost 2 months, their page is getting almost more views than my actual page, and that's something I've been sitting on since 2012.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the reality of it. And so what you said makes a lot of sense. Hoop jogging a lot. Hey, you're right. And what's crazy is I'm talking about that right now, and hoop jogging is one of the people that I met with IVD Press.
There it is.
When I went on YouTube, like, man, it is crazy. It's crazy, man. Big shouts out to you, Hoop Jogging. He's a sports guy, sports analyst, man. He's really smart about the business of sports, man. Top college player, did his thing, man. So I appreciate you tuning in. This
appreciate
really
that, Hoop Jogging.
And make sure you subscribe to the Kings of Company. So we gonna keep it going, y'all. Next thing goes. Bam.
Woo.
questions and listen. Now, let me talk about that. Now, Dominique came on earlier and he was talking about this. So I'm just backing off what Dominique has already spoke about. Asking questions. So we're going to put the scene of a vendor event, right? No, not a vendor event, but a speaking event, an entrepreneur event. Now, people remember Dominique because he was one of the first people to raise his hand, if not the first person to raise his hand and ask a question. If you don't understand something, you ask questions. I learn differently. And I've learned differently in my whole life. And I didn't find out I had something that stopped me from learning, you know what I'm saying, until I got older, like almost in high school. And I can be honest, and I said, I found out I had dyslexia. And so I learned different. And so,
Same here.
Yeah, so I got diagnosed, and it's like, it's a thing where if you said I 100% get it, or I probably don't get it at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost no in between when
Right.
it comes to that. So the things that I do, you better know. If I'm doing it, I've almost mastered it. I'm learning about it, and I've got enough knowledge to make it look good and make it professional. And I'm just being completely honest with that, because in my life where I had to be confused so much and didn't understand why everybody else got it right then and I didn't, like, that's a confusion when you really don't know what's going on.
Right.
And that happens when you're at these entrepreneur events, because these entrepreneurs are talking in their language. Entrepreneurs have their own language.
Fact.
So if you're at an entrepreneur event and they say wait to the end to ask questions, or you can ask questions, why? I'm that guy like this. I'm that guy like this the whole time. I'm that guy like this. Oh, I wish that guy shut up. Oh, I wish he'd keep his hands down. No. If they tell me I can raise my hand and ask this question, like I told y'all can come in, I'm going to do that because I learn differently. And not saying that everybody has that. Not saying that everybody's not smart, anything like that. It's just certain things that we are ignorant about. And if you don't understand the word ignorant means that you just don't understand. It don't mean that you're stupid. It don't mean that you're crazy. It don't mean any of those things. It just means that you don't understand. It's so many things in this world, and still to entrepreneurship, to a point that I'm ignorant at and that I'm yet learning today, building my mindset, building my vocabulary, learning this lingo, this language that Dominique was talking about earlier. And so asking the questions is not a bad thing. To me, if I'm in an event and I'm telling the people that they can raise their hand, the person that raising their hand the most, that's the person I'm probably gonna talk to when it's over. Because that means that they got the most hunger. That means that they got the most want to do whatever it is that they want to do. And I'm gonna get to listening right now. The thing is, like me and Dom, we said on our first show, we was talking about the fifth man that worked for Google. You don't have to be the boss all the time, which I don't like that word. I accept leader, but you don't have to be the boss all the time, because in Google, the fifth or sixth man in charge probably still a billionaire. Probably still a billionaire. Now that leads me to say that a great leader is also a great follower. It's probably more better follower than leader. Because why? You have to listen. You have to learn from somebody else. We don't have the answers to everything up front. We just don't have the answers. Shouts out for the ignorance and abuse of the word.
It is.
Hey, I hear your hoops. I hear your hoops, man. I mean, you said something real big right there, bro. And I hope y'all took that in, man. Cause that's the reality. So when it comes to being a leader, I ask more questions as a leader than I probably did as a follower, because you can be the person, or you could be second in command at this big corporation, and the boss, The big boss man decides to retire and leave you the business.
Right.
Guess what? You're going to have to be taught how to run the business. You only know your position. And the problem is in business, a lot of us business owners and entrepreneurs don't know our positions. We think we know everything because we went down there and got a tax ID number and a business license. That's not the key.
Right.
The key is understanding what you're doing. The only way you can understand it is listening. Hoop jogging again, great leadership, respect, order. Yes, sir. Because even with hoop jogging, he played for a team. A team is a chain of command. You understand? A business is a chain of command. It's this person. They're the point guard. That's the shooting guard. That's the power forward. That's the center. That's the small forward. It's positions. So we have to learn our positions in business as entrepreneurs. If you feel like if you're a $1 billion corporation and you're very successful and you feel like you know everything, something's wrong. Things change in business every day. The first thing I do when I get up, I check my emails and I check my emails and I have to go to Google to see what is new for me today that changed in business that's going to allow my business to be profitable and manageable for the rest of my life. So I know I kind of got in on it because I'm sensitive about that in particular thing. You ask questions and you listen, because if you don't ask questions, you're gonna be lost. And if you don't listen, you're gonna be lost. What you gotta say, Dominique?
I just want to double down on that listening piece, because look, when you ask questions and you listen, it's important from a topical standpoint, but like the thing is from a micro standpoint, when you listen, they're dropping clues. That person is dropping clues, especially if you're like in a potential sales situation, right? You know, I remember my time at the bank. Hey Erica, I remember my time at the bank where I was talking to a person, just talking, just shooting or whatever, and they were talking about, my wife just, we just had a kid and stuff like that. It's like, oh, see, that's a clue. Because like you just had a kid, you're probably thinking about college, you're probably thinking about, saving and stuff like that, inheritance and stuff like that. Was able to sell them one of them college savings plans, from 529 plans, you know what I mean? And so it's like when you listen, that person is dropping clues, right? You just got to pay attention. So that part is important. But also when you talk about leadership and listening, like that's so important. That's so important, because the thing is, like, you up there at the top, the 44th floor, the people who are beneath you, subordinate, they have more information than you do. Yes. Because they're in the thick of the weeds. You know what I mean? They have more information than you do. So if you're not listening to them, I don't know what kind of leader you are. I know what you are. You're not a leader. That's what it is. You're not a leader. Because like I said, those people have more information than you do. So it's best to be kind of like that servant leader is what we like to call them now. That's kind of a buzzword now.
Yeah,
that's that servant leader where you're asking questions and following up with that that actionable intel.
Right. And it's just great information. I want to move on to another topic as well. Mm-hmm. One of the key things, and this is something that I do. I do everything I said. Like, I actually took my time and I put it in the categories down, and I'm just speaking from my mind. I didn't write anything to say. I just knew what I wanted to talk about. So this is something, all this stuff that I use when I'm doing business, when I'm going to business events. So I want to kind of keep it at the business event, the entrepreneur event.
Right.
This is the number one thing that I do at entrepreneur events. Right here, I get around people I don't know. That's the number one thing that I do. If I know you, I'll speak to you when we come in or before the show, blah, blah, blah. But my goal is to get around the people that I've never seen in my whole life.
Right.
Those are the people that I'm probably going to be, well, I know that me personally, because I ain't going to lie, I'm real sure of myself. You know what I'm saying? Dominique said that earlier, and what he said, unapologetic. I'm real sure of myself.
Gotta be.
And I have to get. I know Dominique. I know. I know the law. I know them. So if I don't come in and speak right up front to them, they understand Fahara doing this thing. Or I understand Dominique over there doing his thing. He can get to me last because I'll talk to him when we leave. I'll talk to him on the way home. But get around people you don't know. Because I'm telling you, that person in the back, probably at the back, that just looking around is quiet, they don't want to say nothing to nobody, that's the person I'm going to. Just like the person that's raising their hand throughout the whole thing. That's the person I'm going to. Because that's the person that's probably just sitting back in their chair like this, scouting, trying to see what's the next company I'm going to invest in.
Right.
What's the next person that I want to sit down with? Because I got all of this money and I'm not an entrepreneur at all, but I like making my money and growing my money.
Right.
Which of these people next I'm going to talk to and invest my money in? Now, imagine going to a party with you and your friends, right? And you know everybody there and you're a guy. Let's say you're a guy. And you see this one girl, she look good. You know all the rest of the girls there, but you don't know her.
Right.
It's like in your mind, you're like, yo, who is that? You already stand out. You see what I'm saying? You already stand out. So I go to every business event I'm invited to. That's one thing I do. If I'm invited to an entrepreneur event, I go. So a lot of events I go to, I probably went by myself, right? But they just trying to explain it. Knowledge learned from others and don't stand around us. I got you. Got you.
Got you.
Miss Doctor. Yeah. But a lot of these events, I don't know these people. So when I go, guess what? I'm prepared. I got my business cards. I got my flyers or whatever I need. And just like Dominique said earlier, I'm dressed to the part. So when I walk in, guess what? I don't know anybody there. And somebody gonna say, who is that guy right there? The guy that's got the hair all curly and this suit on. Yeah, come talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm gonna beat you to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, a lot of people that we know in business, just like I know Dominique, I know right now if I need something, or if I need this in particular thing, I'm going to Dominique. But the person sitting next to Dominique, I don't know what they do. And if I leave there, and I don't know what that person do, man, there's a missed opportunity for the future. Something future, like that person could have been the network. You know what I'm saying? The network person that's over the stuff on UPN. You know what I'm saying? We got this showcase the company. We could have probably had a show out of this, but just because I didn't say anything and I didn't meet somebody I didn't know, I didn't learn something new.
Right.
I'm in this situation. So what you got, Dominique? What you got on that?
You know, it's funny you talk about this topic because, you know, for the past 4 years, I've been a coach mentor for this organization called Let's Innovate Through Education, or LIGHT. And so it's a 16-week program that culminates at the end of the 16 weeks into this big old pitch night, right?
Yeah.
But leading up to that pitch night, you know, and like, you know, we fund whoever wins the pitch night, we fund their business. They get like $1,000. The two top winners get like $1,000 or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so leading up to that pitch night, every time I was like, look, talk to everybody because the people they bring to that pitch night are like the who's who of Memphis, right? You know, we're talking angel investors, we're talking about people who works in the mayor's office, stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. Like I want to talk to the people who are interested in my industry. Like, no, talk to everybody, you know. And because the thing is, I tell them sometimes the business card is more valuable than the $1,000 that the other person won. Classic example. I told this young lady, talk to everybody. She did. Right. She did not win the pitch competition, not because she didn't have a good pitch, more so the person who won, the people just kind of liked their idea a lot better. It was new, it was hip, this and the other, right? But she did get a business card. 5 weeks later, she got a $10,000 check from the person who she exchanged business card with. All because she talked to everybody and she had memorable and deep conversation. So again, like I told her, that business card turned into a $10,000 check towards her company.
Yeah.
All because she talked to everybody. So
Right.
you can be out here being scared if you want to, but somebody gonna get that check. And just like Fahar said, and at them networking events, stuff like that, you never know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
And you can't always go off appearances. You can't always go by whatever. Talk to everybody. Talk to as many people as you can, because like that one person you talk to, that might be the game changer. Whether it be a check, whether it be a pathway, whether it be an introduction to somebody else you need to get to. Right. So get around people you don't know.
Right. That's right. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm when I get done with this, this goes with what I was just talking about. When I go to place I'm networking, I go talk to the people that standing by themselves. I really do. And it's something like, and I say I wrote all of this down because I'm telling y'all this stuff that I really do. I talk to the person that's standing by themselves. They're like, hey, how you doing? My name's Fahar Farm. I have a company. I'll say the IVD Press. I say IVD Press. I'm wearing the shirt today. IVD Press, it's a media company. We do so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. And they say, oh, okay, well, I'm here just with my friend, and I'm not an entrepreneur or anything. You know, I do this. And I'm like, well, that's great. That's great. Well, if you do get time, come check us out on IVD Press on YouTube. Come check us out go to IVDpress.com. You know, because I got the .com for that. Big shout out. Big shout out to that. But I got go to IVDpress.com, check it out. When they close them out, don't get fed. That's right. Scared money don't make no money. Right? So I do that, and I'm talking to them, and now I have a new follower on Instagram. Now I have a new follower on Facebook. Now I have a new follower on Twitter. Something like that. Something new is happening. That now that what I'm doing is next level, because I went out of the way and I found a person that was chilling out, or even with my clothing brand. You know, the person that stand over there to the side, kicking it, not doing too much or nothing. Yo, I might tell them, yo, hey, I got this right here going. My name is so-and-so, so-and-so. Here's my flyer. I got a clothing brand. Check me out whenever you get time. Let's go from there. So that's where I'm at, you know, and I think it is really important. It's really important to have those things and go about in a different way. Because we see people doing their business. We see people doing other things the same way. And why not do something different? If everybody in the crowd and they talking to each other, they doing all that, man, let's get on our level. Let's get on our level and let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Because I promise at events, the longest conversations I've had at events, a lot of these events, is the person that's not even an entrepreneur. A person that's just there supporting somebody else. So hopefully that was real good. Hopefully you can get some from that, and it works out for you. So I'm happy with Dominique. Hopefully he'll be back. I know I'm gonna keep it going because y'all know me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna say the next thing I'll talk about is after you do all of those things, following up. So I'm basically saying, once you do all of these things, if you're at these events, or you meet somebody networking, and you get their business cards, or they get, y'all exchange information. Why not follow up with them and see how they are? Like, hey, yo, I was just checking on you. I was trying to see I was just seeing how you was doing. How's the family? So and so. How's the business? Blah, blah, blah. Because you never know. You really never know what's next with this person. When you talk to them, they probably was a $100 business. And the second time you talk to them, they're probably a $1,000 business. You know? And now you get to the point that you keep following up with them. Now they're a multi-million-dollar business. And guess what? It's like they were like, yo, what you were doing, I couldn't help you at the time, but I got something within my business that I can see I need your help. You know, and we gotta utilize that time like that. We gotta follow up with these companies. We gotta follow up with these people that giving us business cards. We got to, like I said, call if you got the number, or you want to text me, you want to email them. Yo, like I said, how's the family? How's the kids? How's the business? How's this right here? Because your company is moving up if you're doing these things anyway. So if you see somebody that was real interesting to you and you got the business card and you like, yo, I'm gonna give it a week and I'm gonna holler at them and see how they doing. You know how people be like, Dominique, and I won't say nothing tomorrow up front, because so and so and so. Now, hey, listen, I'm probably gonna call or get in touch the next day because it was somebody else there doing the same thing that I was doing, and I want them to get to you before I do.
Right.
So I was just pretty much talking about following up with all the people that you're networking with. What's your take on that, Dominique?
Real quick, easy thing to do, especially if you think, don't do this for every single person, but just if you had a memorable conversation and stuff like that, set like a calendar alert. If you got a birthday or something like that, or they got a business anniversary or something like that, and do not discount the importance of a handwritten note.
Oh, yes.
A handwritten note. And you ain't necessarily got to handwrite it yourself, right? Like there's companies who do it for you, right? You send this, say this, blah, 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 blah. Make sure you write it. And they'll do it for you, right? They have machines and stuff that do it for you. My point is when you have that personal touch and stuff like that, where you're saying, hey, congratulations, on this, or hey, I know it's your kid's 3rd birthday or something like that. That goes a long way to not just creating and maintaining that relationship, but sealing that relationship, because now y'all homies. And again, people do business with people that they know, and they damn sure gonna do business with their homie.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You see me.
Right. They damn sure gonna do business with their homie, man.
Yeah. So I want to make sure y'all following up. That's something that's really important to me. That's something I do, and it works for me. And I want to speak about this as well. Moving on. Now, it kind of don't make sense when you see it, but I'm about to break it down. If you're at an event, vendor event, whatever, business event, entrepreneur event, wedding, or whatever it is, and you're out there and you're trying to get your business out there, if you're out there and you're networking, just say networking. Don't spend all of your time with everybody, because it's not enough time for that.
It ain't.
Especially at a networking event, especially after the networking event, because you probably already been sitting there some hours. You had the first 2 go up and then a break, and then the next 2 go up. It's not a whole lot of time. So by the time it's over, you're ready to go. Especially if you came with somebody else and you're really not interested. But so my thing is, move on potentially. So this makes it saying, I'm seeing Dominique and I say, hey, how you doing? My name's Fahara Farmer. Got a media company, IVD Press. Go check us out on YouTube. Go check us out, ivdpress.com, and make sure you subscribe to us on Google. On YouTube, because all the information is on the .com. Dominique says, hey, what kind of information is it? Oh, it's information about movies, sports, all types of media, so on, so. Try to get as much as you can in as smaller sentences as you possibly can, because you don't want to miss an opportunity to talk to that one person that could be the person that changes your life.
Right.
So it's not a rushing thing either. Don't make the people feel like you're rushing them. You looking over there like they talking to you like,
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's a bad look.
That's a turnoff. That's a turnoff to anybody. You do a woman like that, it's a turnoff. You looking at another woman while she trying to talk. You don't see me. It's like this language of entrepreneurship. You don't have to know the language of it. Just know word by word, but just understand respect. To me, that's the real language, is respect. Respect of this person's vision. So even when people come to you about their business, don't try to keep them a long time because it's other people that they can meet. So I really want to touch on that because that's something that happens a lot, where we talk to people about our business and we talking to them too long and they're now not interested.
Right.
Because it happens all the time. Is that not right, Dominique?
No, that's very right. You gotta read the room. You gotta read people, right? A lot of times you can kind of tell, that like you may be talking too much, and honestly, sometimes like that person may be talking to you a little bit too much, right? It's like, okay, I get it, and don't be afraid to move on. Right? Yeah. Don't be afraid to move on. Like, be like, look, hey, it was nice chatting with you. I got some more people I gotta kind of get situated with and set up with, stuff like that. Yeah. But I got your business card. We'll be in touch. Or I hit you up later, or I'll contact you, or link up on LinkedIn or something like that. So you're right. Like, you're there to, you're there. Let's be honest. You're there to attain another asset, and that asset is relationships. You know what I mean? And so, like, don't be afraid to move on. Don't be afraid to move on. Now, if y'all got a good conversation and it's actually getting somewhere, I mean to the point where, like, you may get a deal done tonight, you might want to hang on to that conversation a little bit longer, right? Yeah, but if you know that's not where it's going, but it was memorable at the same time, it's okay to be like, you know what? I'm gonna go, talk to some more people I want to kind of hit up and chat up a little bit, and so there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And that's real talk, man. And I got a few more, y'all. Hopefully y'all getting this. Hopefully y'all writing this down. Hopefully y'all getting this knowledge, man. Cause a few things that I looked up myself, and I didn't even realize I do all of these things until I researched myself, networking. I'm like, oh, I do that. Let me, you know what I'm saying? And this one thing that caught me real good is give and get. That's what I call it. Before I get there, let's see who it is. Ball Facts is in the building. Big shots out to Ball Facts. He's one of the analysts I met through IVD Press. And we just got finished talking about that. So big shots out to Ball Facts. Make sure you subscribe to him on YouTube. Thank you for stopping by and fellowshipping with the Kings of Company, man. So I want to get to this. Give and get. Now, I call it give and get simply because a lot of things that people do as entrepreneurs, it may not benefit what you're doing, So it's like you kind of don't want to give it a lot of time when you're talking to them in your mind because it don't benefit you at all. But you still want to have, you still want to show love and be respectful, like I said earlier. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I give and get. I'm sorry. I give them the information of how I could help them. Since you can't do anything for me, you seem like a cool dude. Is there anything that I can do to help you?
Right.
So I give the olive branch, as like, this what I do in my media company. Maybe you want a shout out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you want a shout out. Maybe you want an article wrote about you. I do that and I get. That mean I go. You know what I'm saying? Because I got some people that's beside you that I know that can help me in what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm getting here and I'm giving you my information. Mm-hmm. Since I know that you can't do anything for me, hopefully I can do something for you. So I give you my information. This is the .com. This is the email address. I give you the information on what this company is, and I get out the way because I may be standing in front of a potential person that can actually help this person that I'm talking to way better than I can. So I get in there and I get out of there. What do you take on the give and get, Dominique?
I really can't follow up that one. I mean, it's pretty plain and simple, right? Look, the name of the game is value. Okay, like you got to give value, and hopefully in turn you get something back in return. So I really have nothing else to kind of follow that one up.
Big shouts out to Ballfax, man.
Oh,
I
man.
appreciate it, bro, man. Ballfax, he moving up that YouTube, bro, man. He got millions of views on few of his videos, and he's in 50,000 subscribers. You know, IVD Press. We working on it, man. We working on it. We appreciate you for tuning in, bro. That really means a lot. And I really wanted to end my segment with follow up, but it made sense for what I said earlier, and I want to make sure I do that. But following up, out of all the things that we said, following up is, I'm promised, if probably the most important thing you do after you meet another entrepreneur. You don't meet them and not get in touch with them anymore.
Right.
Everybody I meet, I make sure I have a relationship with them. It don't have to be a friendship per se. It could turn into a friendship,
Right.
or you know what I'm saying, or business partners or things like that. But the goal is just a relationship, and just period, because you never know that they came to that event, or they was at this event, the baseball game, football game, whatever you met them at, and they couldn't fully talk to you about everything they do. No, they probably talked to you about that one thing they do, and it just wasn't enough time. But you got the number, you got the business cards, you got the .com, you got the everything, and you make sure y'all follow us on all social media as well. Once this over, make sure y'all hitting us up.
Right.
But I'm telling you, that follow up, whatever it is extremely important, man. So those are my thoughts on networking. Dominique said his thoughts, man, and I really believe that it was beneficial, because all the things that was said is stuff that we can use in everyday life, just not entrepreneurship.
Right.
So before we go to this next segment, what's your take on everything we talked about, Dominique?
You know, like I know we threw a lot at you, and I get it, right? But networking is super important. Once again, like Fahar just reiterated, like everything that you do in life is going to involve some type of networking. So you master those skills, and you master, that craft, and honestly, and do it with confidence. Sky's the limit. I know that's cliche, but cliches are cliches because they're true. Sky's the limit to where you can do with your field of endeavor, your business, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and that's real, and that's true. So I want to get to the next part of the show. Y'all see, the law is not here. Like I said, the law is he's out. Y'all know he in the service. He fight for our country. He wasn't able to be here as of right now, but he sent me a few things that I want to talk about. And Dominique, I'm gonna let you go first. He sent this to me right here. What do you get out of this?
I mean, look, network to give exposure. Like, look, you gotta let people know you out here. I mean, let's just be honest. You gotta let people know you out here. The more, and that's the thing about, when it comes to networking, like not only are you creating relationships, you're creating more what I like to call exposure points, if you will, right? So like every time you tell somebody your story, they now know your story and can evangelize on your behalf, right? So that exposure and that detail gets more and more out there into the world. Hey, I've been looking for somebody who does this. I know a person who does this. Hey, I've been looking for a person who can help me with this. Hey, I know a person who can help you with that. So that networking, when the law talks about exposure, it's A1. It's right up there.
Yeah. And to me, exposure comes for me because I'm just a promoter. It's just really promoting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting yourself out there. How somebody gonna, like I said, how somebody gonna know what you do if you don't expose yourself? If you don't put yourself out there and let them know that I can help you in this kind of way. I heard you talking to the guy over there. I do this right here. Or you ain't even got to say I heard you talking. You hear this conversation. You be like, oh, I design logos. This one section in your logo. Guess what? Next person you gonna see? You gonna see me. Hey, how you doing? My name's Fahar Farmer. What do you do? I can have IVD press on all of this stuff, and I was like, I design logos.
Right.
I design logos.
Let me just add something here. Don't be afraid to be creative with how you do your exposure and your promoting. A few years back, we had a football team here, and the college football coach, they were doing really well and stuff like that. But on Friday nights, he would have this blue University of Memphis helicopter and just fly around to all the Memphis high school football games, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you fly over the football game, everybody looking up, and so clearly there's exposure there. But all those recruits potentially for the team are going to remember that, right? And so again, that's networking, that's exposure, and it's never be afraid to be creative with it.
Right. What you got on the question from Ball Facts, Dominique?
Let's see what you got. When you come into contact with someone that would be valuable, contact, but you are not established, ready yet, should you reach out then or wait until you're ready? I mean, that's an excellent question, right? And you would have to define what you mean by ready, and I get that. I think at the bare minimum, you should at least establish the relationship, even if you're just like, hey, I like what you do. I like what you do. I value what you do. Maybe you're not able to present something right then and there, but you want to establish that relationship. Even if you're not ready to move on in the transactional phase, whatever the case may be, you want to get to know that person. And more importantly, you want yourself on their radar. Right. So that way, when you do get ready or whatever, quote unquote, ready, or whatever you deem that is, it's more of a warm lead, like we talked about earlier, than a cold call lead or a cold lead, if you will. Yeah. So I would say at the very least, establish the relationship.
Yeah. I would piggyback off that. The establishing that relationship is extremely important. I don't care if you don't have a business card. I don't care if you don't have a YouTube channel. I don't care if you don't have a place of business. I don't care if you don't have an email address. Because 9 times out of 10, and that's why I think entrepreneurship sometimes is genetic. It's just it's just something that some of us just have. Because if I come past a Ball Facts, like say for instance Ball Facts, and Ball Facts say I don't have a .com yet, which he quite possibly do. But if he say I don't have a .com yet, but if I'm listening to him telling me about his business, it's like now I'm for the network, because what you're doing, you're talking about basketball, you're talking about the Ball family. You know what I'm saying? You're really on this. You're really like the top of your game, but you just don't have everything.
Right.
I'm that entrepreneur. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go and talk to my homeboy. He do websites. You see what I'm saying? He can help you out. And make sure you tell him Fahara sent you, and I'll make sure he give you a discount, or I'll make sure you have a good price. You know what I'm saying? That's what networking is.
Right.
So, we as business owners and we as entrepreneurs, if it's a cake business, a shoe business, or whatever, if we don't have everything up front, it still establish the relationship, because the relationship is way more important than the .com. It's way more important than the what you ain't got yet, or what I'm working on, because the person that you're asking about this situation or talking to about this situation could be the main person that help you with the situation or lead you to help that can benefit something that you need as an entrepreneur or somebody trying to start a business. So that's my answer out of that. It's like when we say be prepared, we're saying be prepared if you have the means, for sure. If a lot of times a lot of entrepreneurs don't have the means, but that's why they want to be entrepreneurs, because they don't have the means. They're trying to get some money from somewhere.
Right.
So just the mind and the knowledge about what you're doing, I'm telling you, if you don't have anything but the knowledge and you go to somebody, they can possibly see the vision in what you're doing and possibly be a help or want to be a blessing to your business. It could be financial. It could be a shout out. It could be, you know what I'm saying? It could be something that benefits you, that help you. But if we don't say anything at all, we're not going to get the negative or the positive, because the negative still can be a good thing, because now I learned something today.
Right.
I don't believe in good and bad. I believe in lessons and blessings. You know what I'm saying? Because you get the same thing out of both, man. So big shouts out to Ball Facts. Oh man, no problem, Ball Facts,
Thank you
man.
for the question.
Yeah, man, that was an awesome question, man, and we've had some really awesome questions today and in the past, man.
Hmm.
So it's just an honor to see that people actually want to know, and they're just not eating off somebody else or just following behind somebody else's coattail. This is another thing right here that Law brought me, network sharpening skills. What you get out of that, Dominique?
We're always talking about sharpening the saw. When you're networking, I mean, you are selling something. You're selling yourself, and so that sharpens the skills when it comes to an actual, like, physical transaction, or actual transaction and stuff like that. Monetary value being exchanged and stuff like that. But yeah, like sharpen it really does sharpen the skills. Like, look, networking is like working out. Right,
Yeah.
the more you do it, the better you get at it, and you get in peak, not position, but peak condition, if you will, when it comes
Okay.
to networking out or network stuff like that. You stop doing it for a while, man, you get rusty.
Yeah.
You get rusty, and you start fumbling over words and trying to figure out what to talk about and stuff like that. Look, not everybody. Not everybody for hard, man. Just turn the light on when you get ready to. Not everybody's like that. For the rest of us mere mortals, right? We gotta like stay in the game and and constantly get those at bats. You know what I mean? So no, that's what I think he was going when we talk about sharpening those skills.
Yeah, yeah, and what I get out of it is that whatever skill you have, learn more about it as much as you can. You can never know too much about something that changes every day. You know, whatever type of business you do, it changes every day because it's a new player in the game
Right.
every day. So
Every day.
yeah, and a lot of times we get lost in the mix because we still where we at, and what we're doing has moved on. I had $100,000 business last year, and this year is December, and I hadn't made $50,000 yet because you wasn't sharpening your skills. You wasn't stand up on top of this business. Okay, you still selling this to go with this right here. They don't do that no more. They graduated to this thing over here. Now everybody else is selling this thing over here to go with the same product you use, and they're getting more sales because they sharpen their skills. They got more knowledgeable about what they're doing. So I always say change make change. So if you're doing the same thing every day, don't expect change. You have to change and switch it up to get in a better place or a better position, because positions change all the time. So I'm in entrepreneurship. So I have to stay up on entrepreneurship. I have to stay up on people that's coming up in entrepreneurship. I have to stay up on it's certain stuff I can't that don't work for me that this billionaire talk about, but this billionaire over here, he got some I need, and this woman over here got some I need. She got some I need. You know what I'm saying? Not saying like physically need. I'm talking about knowledge. So sharpening your skills to me is just staying up on the game. You know what I'm saying? Stand up on your business, stand up on whatever you do, and learning the newest, simplest ways. Simplest ways. Is that right? Simplest, is that a word? Yeah, okay. Simplest ways to stay profitable. So big shouts out to him for that. We got another one. Shake more. Is that the more you shake hands, the more money you make. No, so that's really. That's just what it is, you know.
That's
what I'm saying?
self-explanatory.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
self-explanatory. Like you're casting out a web of, it's
Hey,
like
Dominique, before we get there, I'm sorry, before we get there,
No,
let's do
sure.
this. We're in the first meet a person. How do you lead? Service. Complete them. Do you yo, what you got? What you got on that?
Let me see. Do you offer your service or compliment them? How do you come off as not a scam?
Yeah.
Gotcha. The first, when I first meet a person, the first thing I'm asking them is like, what brought them to the event? What do you do for a living? I'm trying to understand I'm trying to gather intel from that person, right? And from this point, this is where you figure out, should I lead and start talking about what I do, or should I, move on and just kind of keep it casual, whatever the case may be. Once I figure out that it's time to kind of press forward and kind of show them what I'm doing, this is where I kind of like, this is what I do. And, there may be some synergies into what you're looking for and what I do. Right. The thing is about like coming off as a scam. Look, that's in the eye of the beholder. If somebody's going off top, just feel like that's what they weren't your target person anyway. Yeah. So like you can write them off. Okay. Because if anybody, coming off like that, they're not the right person for you anyway. If it gets to a point where, you feel like it may be going to where we can kind of do some business where maybe we need to ask for a lunch or B, make a sale. You may not want to make a sale at a networking event, because that's not necessary, because things get loud and stuff like that. But maybe try to like have that conversation, that transactional conversation off site for lunch or wherever the case may be, stuff like that. So it's not necessarily, it's a dance. Let's be honest, it's a dance. And what happens when you see a person that you kind of fancy or whatever, and you move too quick, like, that's too much. That's too much. It works the same way in business. So read the room, and if you feel like it's going somewhere where it could lead to a transaction, could lead to a business relationship, try to take that conversation off site. But now, look, if they're ready to purchase right now, you take the deal. Yeah. But 9 times out of 10, that's not going to be the case.
Yeah. And Dominique gave it to you.
But be clear. Don't be afraid to ask for something, whether that be the lunch offsite, whether that be an email address to keep them updated or something like that. Do not ask for something, because you want to have that connection to them long after that initial contact. Sorry, Fahar. I wanted to make sure I drive that point home, because I don't think I did that very well before.
No, you're good, man. I see you came from it from a place where if you're in the same room and you're in the same place, I'm gonna come from it from a place of digital.
Okay.
I'm gonna come from a place as internet based, and you meet people, because everything that we have in our inbox a lot of times is a spam.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So what I would do to not come out as a as it kind of look like I'm a scam when I talk to somebody about iVision Digital, IVD Press, or whatever the situation is, I'm going to come to them. Hey, how you doing? My name's Fahar Farmer. I have this this what I'm typing, y'all. I have this platform called IVD Press. Go and check it out. Tell me what you think. If they never get back in touch with me, I don't worry about it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being completely honest. Unless I go on there, because a lot of times when they're talking to you on social media, you have access to their page and they have access to yours. Now, if I go on their page and I see them sharing stuff that's kind of like what they asked me about, what I came to them about, that's when I'll go back to what I said earlier. I'll follow up. You know what I'm saying? It's like you will kind of get the mind frame on things or people in your first encounter. I don't care if it's the internet. I don't care if it's face to face. You have an emotion about everybody you meet. So now, when it's internet based, now you got to choose judgment. You see what I'm saying? I shot the first shot. Now, after that, what do I do now? If I see them online and they still talking, and I see that they already left the message and they hadn't got back with me, and I go on their page and they're talking about something I told them that I do or something like that, I'll do a follow up. Hey, how you doing? This Quentin Farmer again. Did you check out the page? If you hadn't, I totally understand. Just let me know. And after that, I'm done. But a lot of times that follow up will be oh yeah, I was meaning to check it. I forgot. I looked at it and I didn't check it. And next thing you know, you're getting a message back. Oh, I like the media. I like what you all doing. how do I get? Can you write something up on my business? Can I do cupcakes? You know, can you write something up on my business? Can you make a video for me? Can you know what I'm saying? Do things like that. So I think that when it comes to not coming off like a scam, is not be a scam. You see what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Facts.
Don't no, we just don't keep coming to them, coming to them, coming to them.
Right.
No, we just give the opportunity. If the opportunity looks profitable, and profitable don't always mean money.
Right.
It can mean sharing. They can share your content, or they can do this right here. So that's just my personal opinion about it. I think
I want to add something to that though. I want to add something. I just thought about something because like when it comes to the startup life, we don't necessarily go through as like is it a scam or not, but I get exactly where this part is coming from.
Right.
One of the things that I do is I make connections, and when I say connections, I make the connection in the sense of like maybe you don't know what I do, but I'll relate what I do to something that that somebody is familiar with. For example, right? So I'll say that, hey, I've worked with these people who have worked with these people, or I have worked with this and worked with this organization, right? And so it's like you may not know who I am, but you know who that organization is. So right. I'm getting some of that credibility from them onto me to relay to you. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me.
Right, because the thing is like, look, let's be honest. Like you said, I get emails all the time, like spam and stuff like that. So the thing is, if the issue is credibility, then how can we make what we do credible in the eyes of what that person is looking for? So that's why I start making the connection game. Right?
Oh no, man!
Not at all, bro. Hey, look, look, man. No, man. It's nothing like that at all. It's a situation where it's like, look, man, it's something that we have to constantly do. It's not something that like once I got it, I got it. It's a constant thing. I'm constantly getting better at it. I know Fahar is gonna say the same thing, but it's a game, but all games are made to be won. So it's like it is what it is.
Yeah, and I say I wouldn't say. The suck part. You know what I'm saying? I would, you know what I'm saying? I would just say, ball facts. A lot of times we have to use our intuition,
and
a lot of time it's right or it's positive. It's a positive message from your thoughts. So if you feel like this, one thing I'll be careful with when I'm doing my promotion online, I'm super careful when I'm talking to women, because as a man, women may see that in particular thing as a you flirting, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, or you trying to get my attention or something like that, and that's not my goal at all. If I ask you how you doing, that don't automatically mean that I'm trying to talk to you or anything like that. No, I'm going to keep it professional. I'm going to keep it where it is. I'm going to keep it respectful. So it won't be anything that comes to mind that's something that I'm trying to do. I just got this business and I got this YouTube channel and I want you to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? That's about it, man. So, Ball Facts, man. Hey, yo, you are dropping some great questions, man. Your questions are benefiting so many people right now. For the people that's watching the playback and the people that's watching it live, you're not alone. You're not alone, man. I just want you to know that because it's something that I think everybody have to learn. And so everybody have to figure out. And they have to figure out in their own way. Like what works for me may not work for you. You just have to figure it out in your own way. But I know him personally, and he do got it. He got it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And but we just have to figure it out, man. Just figure it out.
Let me just say this: it's not meant for everybody to understand what you do, and it's not meant for everybody to understand what you do right now. Right? Just because somebody doesn't get it now doesn't mean they won't get it later. Right? So like, nah, don't even sweat it. Don't even sweat it, and just know. If they don't get it now, they only get it later. That means you can charge more because now is legit. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, man, I got you, bro. Let's get to this right here, man. I know we kind of stepped off on it, so big shouts out to Ball Facts with that awesome question, man. Thank you so much for that, brother. So Dominique, what you got, man?
Yeah, I mean, talking about the more hands you shake, the more
Yeah,
money you make.
yeah,
That's self-explanatory. Again,
self-explanatory.
self-explanatory. I mean, you're casting out a web of transactions and relationships or whatever. The more people you know, the more access to capital they have, the more money you're gonna make. It's that simple.
Right. And we're gonna change that handshake right now to Earl
Yeah,
fist bump
yeah,
because of
fist bump,
Corona.
fist bump,
Earl fist bumps.
something like that.
It works the same, man. So big shots out for the law for that. And I have another one. And it's this right here. Networking gives access to things and humans you would never run into unless the networking happens. So what you got on that?
It's simple. Somebody was asking, oh, anytime ball facts, anytime. Glad to help. I subscribe to the channel and check you out, my guy. But it's self-explanatory, right? Like, look, one of the ways somebody asked earlier, like, who's the biggest name you had on your podcast? And without question, it's Mark Randolph, co-founder, first CEO of Netflix, right? That's the one, right? And so people always ask, how in the world did you get him on your show? Well, I reached out to the publicist. The publicist put me on game, like, this is what he's looking for, this is what he want to do, this, that, and the other. I don't talk to the publicist. I don't network the publicist. I don't get Mark Randolph on the show. It's that simple. It is that simple. And now for her, like, when it comes to guests for my show, I can't, when it comes to certain people of a certain cachet of people, I can't remember the last time I reached out to somebody like, hey, you want to come on my show? Hey, you want to come on my show? And back in the day, it was like, hey, will you please come on my show? Will you please come on my show? Now it's kind of like, nope, yep, nope, hell no, nope. Something like that. And I don't mean that to be a jerk or like I'm conceited or whatever. What I'm saying is, like, you do the work and you network, you get to a point where you can be selective. You can be selective about who you deal with. You can be selective about whatever, but if you don't create those exposure points, you can't be selective. But at the same time, when you have those exposure points, you're meeting people that you otherwise wouldn't meet. Well, as a matter of fact, I got a pitch the other day from the guy who created Gildan T-shirts. Like GILDAN, that dude, right? So again, I don't even know where they came from. I have no idea how they found me, but clearly,
This guy.
yes, that person, right? That dude. Right? I have no idea how they found me, but if I didn't do the work and the networking and building those relationships, I would not be connected to that dude. Yeah. It's that simple.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, my mom always used to say, and I think I've said this every time we spoke, is when you want to do something, you get around people that's doing it, and not people that's just doing it, people that's successful at it.
Facts.
Now, how would you know if there's how would you know about them? And well, how would they know about you? I'll say that. How would they know about you and you don't promote yourself? You don't let anybody know about what you're doing. So if you got a company and it's okay and you're making money around the city, because guess what? You're around people you know. People you know, a lot of people you know want to see you win. But guess what? You're going to keep on making that same money if you don't expose yourself to people you don't know. That's why that was in my list. If you were listening earlier, if you didn't listen, please go back and check it out. My goal is when I go out to places, I don't care if I go out to the beach, I don't care if I go to the store, the vendor event or entrepreneur event. My goal is to meet all the people that I don't know, because those people right there, those are my potential customers. Those are my potential business partners. And then the person that I know, and I know they're successful. it does nothing for me if I don't go up to him and talk to him. It's like I'm just there. It's taking up room because
Right.
you do something I want to do. You're an entrepreneur. You're a $1 billion corporation, and I have the opportunity to talk to you and meet you, and I don't. How good is that for me? Like I couldn't go to sleep. I would not be able to go to sleep, man, if I knew that this person was right in front of me, freaking P. Diddy, Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, because I'm in entertainment, and I don't ask questions and let them know that I'm an artist.
Right.
I do music. Which I already know your story, but man, I ask because some people, they just like talking about they come up. I just ask again like I don't know anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reality of it, man. We just gotta stay that way. Question: how high should you reach? Like some people seem out there in your league. Should you go away to
Nope.
higher? No,
Nope.
no,
Nope.
no,
Nope. Ask whoever you want. Ask whoever
Listen.
you want. I don't care who it is. Ask them. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Because the thing is like if you keep saying like whatever my status is in the eye of the beholder. It's subjective, right? Your status is higher than 99% of everybody else's status because you started, right? So like
Yep.
nah, like look, shoot your shot. Like when it came to Mark Randolph. Like I didn't have the subscribers I had now. I didn't have none of that. I just shot my shot, and people of his caliber or whatever still said no. But but I shot that shot. So no. And honestly, and the thing is, whether I talk to Mark Randolph for 15 minutes or 45 minutes, I'ma still have that content, and that content is mine. And I have leveraged that content to get in so many doors. I've leveraged that content to get sponsorship deals. I've leveraged that content to get more guests like him. I've leveraged that content to say, hey, I want to cover this business event. I've leveraged that content to people just throw stuff at me like, hey, Diamond, we just want you to review our thing, right? Like, sure, I'll review it. Hey, you can have it. You can just keep it. We just want you to review it and talk about it on your show, right? Like, classic example. Give me a second. Hold on. I got something right here. This thing right here. This thing right here is a sleep bracelet by Philip Stein. All right. This thing costs $450. They just gave me this thing for free because they want me to try it and talk about it on my show. All because I leveraged Mark Randolph's name on my show and with them, right? So, man, hell no. Shoot. Ask away. If they say no, move on to the next person.
Nothing to lose, man. Nothing to lose, man.
Lose.
Yeah, cause the thing is, it's just like when Dominique when he became a part of the Main Event 901 family, with his show playing on the radio station. He said, "Yo, now I got something else to put on my catalog."
Right. Now I can say I'm in this market, right? Because that's what sponsors and other like publicists and stuff, that's what they want to hear. Like now I can say I'm in this market. Now I can say I'm in that market. Now I can say I got this person. And you leverage each thing upon itself and build all this like whatever like the status is or whatever. Like I don't even know what that means. Like just ask. Just ask.
Yeah. Because my thing is that I shoot my shot on everything. There's just dead on it. Because it's like I'm gonna either stay where I'm at or move up.
Right.
I ain't got nothing to lose. So that just takes me back to my story, how I got the Main Event 901 show. You know what I'm saying? Like that actually came through me through networking. I went to the entrepreneur. I went to the San Diego YouTubers event, and they heard how I talk and blah blah. And I got introduced to the owner. Whatever. He came back and he showed me his studio, and then he had the podcast studio area and this and that. He actually, based off of the stuff that I did in the past, and I told him about networking with him, he said, "Hey, you come in and use my stage." But the thing is, what if I would have never reached out because I thought that he got his own platform, he got his own business, he got his own place with an address.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even have the show together. I thought of the show after he already offered me the opportunity. You see what I'm saying? I didn't even have it. So it's like I wouldn't wait until it get higher to another level. No, I didn't have it at all. I didn't think of the platform until the opportunity came. So I didn't even have that. And I shot a shot. You see what I'm saying? Just based off of stuff that happened in the past that was able to help me as far as like just awards of that alone. You know what I'm saying? I know Dominique got awards. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I have awards. You know what I'm saying? But those awards help us as well. You see what I'm saying? If you got humanitarian, you're at the gospel awards, or what award you get at the council banquet? One of your awards, like
I forgot what it was, but the one that people always ask me about is the one with the Memphis Grizzlies or whatever, Mentor of the Year in the city of Memphis. Yeah, with the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah, like man, people want to hear about that stuff. And again, and that goes back to the previous question. You're using stuff like that, like you don't know who Dominic Lawson is in the startup life, but you know who the NBA team Memphis Grizzlies is. So I take some of their credibility and put it on me, and that gets me indoors.
Yeah. So answer your question, man. Always shoot the shot, cause this one thing that's gonna happen. You know, there's two things that's gonna happen. You're gonna stay where you at, or you're gonna move up. That's it. So I talk to everybody, even like I'm talking to Ballface right now. Dominique, I don't know if you know who Ballface is. But Ballface is a YouTuber. We have views with millions of people. You know what I'm saying? They watch his content every day. I shot my shot. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was able to meet, bro. I was able to meet AB the Hero, DKM, Hoop Jogging, who was on here earlier. I was able to meet all of these people based on me shooting my shot with AB the Hero.
Right.
He just put his link in his link in one of his lives, and I got on it. I shot my shot. I had been watching him do it. I had been watching him for a while, but I hadn't watched him go live. The first time he went live, I shot my shot. I ain't even have my IVD press page up yet. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I didn't even have the mind to put it on YouTube. But being around them brothers, they inspired me to take it just off Facebook. I got to follow on Facebook. They inspire me. So the thing is, the question you asking is you're the answer to that question in my life. You see what I'm saying? Like I was inspired to do something different because I've been watching y'all for a while. So yeah, man. Just long story short, shoot your shot, man. You know how many subscribers you got? I guess you talk about on your podcast. Do you even know?
I don't know because like they don't really they don't really keep that kind of stat on the podcast. They only like look at downloads and stuff like that. Like we're getting close to like $20,000 downloads a month and climbing, right? So. But honestly, that part don't matter. Believe it or not, like a lot of times brands are starting to go with micro influencers more than just heavy influencers. The reason being is because I talked to a professor at Harvard Business School a few weeks back, right? And he's saying that like you can get more impact with a micro influencer, somebody who doesn't have like Kim K subscriber type numbers or whatever, because like those subscribers to that micro influencer are more loyal than a Kim K. Like that number fluctuates all the time. True enough, you're getting a big bang, right? But you're not like there's not a loyal fan base, right? And the loyal people are actually the one who spend money. So I honestly don't know how many subscribers I have because like with podcasts, they don't really keep up with that. At least not on my server, and many of them they don't.
Yeah. I think he's talking about from a YouTube standpoint. It's not a YouTube channel for the startup life. It's only the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So in the podcast,
now I can tell you with radio, we're reaching about 200,000 people a week, but that's because we have radio partners around the country and stuff like that. So
yeah, Main Event 901 Radio. Go and check it out.
Yo, it is every week,
man. Because we still play it. Like I said, a lot of stuff haven't been advertised a lot because it's been so much going on. But I still I make sure I get this stuff. Thanks, bro. Definitely learned. Hey, Ballface, man, that's an honor, bro. Man, we've been doing this for a long time, and we're just starting this YouTube platform, and and Facebook platform. The backstory, if you can go watch the first episode and how we met, you can kind of understand where we came from. And long story short, we did a business entrepreneur business event together called Go Be Great. It was 4 of us, and we spoke. And that's where the name of Kings of Company came from. One of our members, he passed, Jason, so it's 3 of us now. And Jason, that logo, that's Jason right there.
Mm-hmm.
And Law is not able to be here. He's actually in the service, and he's fighting for the country right now. And then he sent us some stuff. So that's what we was going through at the end of the show.
Right.
Because he wasn't here, so we kind of want to talk about the things that he wanted to talk about as well. So we really do appreciate you all tuning in and checking us out. Before we go, I wanted to make sure that we answer all questions that's in here. If we answered enough questions, that's fine, but I want to keep the floor open as we close. And like I said, if we said anything to somebody that benefits them, or if they want to donate or whatever, we do have a platform to donate on. This is our platform right here. This is not it. This telling us to subscribe today, and make sure you do that.
Do that.
Let me get it. Okay, there you go, right here. This is our platform right here, Kings of Company on Cash App. If any one of us said anything that would help you as far as business or something personal, and you just want to donate, you can donate. It's open to anybody. They have questions or anything like that, or after hours, which means after we get off. You can always check us out on our social media platforms. I'm going to throw that back up in a minute. But you always can donate there. I know how to make content, but I don't know anything about networking. I look at y'all like, that's dope, y'all.
The content is the calling card. The content is the calling card. Let's just be clear like that. So if you out here making content, man, like, believe it or not, you're going to make so much content. I don't know how much you have. But after a while, man, that content gonna speak for itself.
Yeah.
Right. And honestly, and like Fahar was saying earlier, and I'm sorry, I know you're trying to wrap up, but like,
no, you good.
Real quick, the content is gonna speak for itself. Like Fahar said, the best way to not look like a scam is not be a scam. And it seems like you're doing great work. So keep doing that, and then just network where you can. Right. I think the most important thing is to define with yourself, and that's a question that only you can ask, what do you want? Go from there. What do you want? And then try to relate and match whoever has that to what you're trying to get. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, because a lot of times we have people that can network all day and can't make content. They can sell themselves all day, but they can't pull through everything you said. You sold me so good with your mouth, but your product is like, man. But I'm gonna say this, and that's the game though. Do you know how much stuff we buy every day that they sell us to networking is just crap? And we buy it just because of the mouthpiece, you know what I'm saying, or just because of the commercial and things like that. But if you do have content, and you do have subscribers or a following, and they look up to you, and they can't wait to the next thing you do and things like that, it gets to a point that you don't have to talk. Ralph Lauren don't have to talk. Tommy Hilfiger do not. Know what I'm saying? Gucci don't have to talk. They speak for themselves. They never have to do another commercial. Walmart never has to do another commercial as long as they live. But yet they still selling it to us because they got both pieces. But if they slack off on their merchandise and still throw those commercials, they still gonna get business. You see what I'm saying?
Making content is like printing money. Like you may not be getting the money right then and there, but like I swear to God, once the dam bursts, it's gonna be like, stop. Yeah. No, for real, keep bringing it. Stop. Oh, please stop. No, it's gonna be like making content is like printing money. Not everybody knows how to make content.
Yeah,
and everybody knows how to make content.
And the content is the key. And content may be your clothing brand. Your clothing brand is your content, your food, your cookies, your tires. So whatever you do, that's your content.
Right.
Long as you're confident in your content, you don't have to talk a lot. I'll say that in relationships as well. Any kind of relationship, man or woman. Like, we ain't gotta talk all the time for us to be best friends. We ain't gotta talk all the time to be married. We ain't gotta talk all the time to be. No, I know who you are to me. I don't have to call Dominique every day and be like, hey, bro, you my guy. You know what I'm saying? No.
Right.
No, it's self-explanatory based off the content that we've shared with each other. Now we know our place. Now we understand who we are to each other. So, man, the content will speak for itself. But if you feel like to a point that you want to grow in other areas, now it's time to, like I said, make change. Now it's time to keep working what you're doing on this platform right here, and just every other day or every other week or every other month, put some more time toward this other thing you want to do. And it's still probably a part of my business, just like I did with IVD Press. My company is iVision Digital. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't push nothing to the side with iVision Digital. I just made time for slowly making steps with IVD Press. You see what I'm saying? So I'm still doing what I'm doing over here, but now I got this new thing. Well, it's not new, but it's new to YouTube. So now I got this new thing over here that I'm working on, that I'm giving as much time and energy as I am iVision Digital. So, like he said, when you figure it out what it is, work toward it. I'm telling you, man. I learn about it. I mean, learn from people that's smarter than you, because that's what I do. I said this on the last one. If I talk to you and we share a conversation and we do stuff like me and Dominique doing right now, that means that you're smarter than me in something. That's what that means. My mama said, man, you get around people that's doing this successful. That means that you're not successful yet. It don't mean that you're not a smart person. Just mean that you're not on the level they're on. I'm not on the level that Ballflex on YouTube. I'm not on the level where Dominique is on the podcast. But I got a whole brand over here. You know what I'm saying? So,
I damn sure ain't on that level with that brand. So,
so man, it's all about growth. It's all about growth with content. It's all about growth with each other. When you got a team of people that you're working with, or if you're working by yourself, grow by yourself. You don't need a whole lot of people to grow. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have people on your team. Don't get it twisted. It's good to have people on your team. But if you have to do it by yourself, hey, do it. And if it's working for you, if it's not working for you, switch some up. Make change. Don't mean stop doing it all at once. Man, I'm for to switch this up a little bit. I'm for to see how I go this way. And see how I be playing with this stuff I'm using. I switch it up every time we doing the doggone show. to find something that works best for me, and it's not a whole lot of this going on. I gotta do this through shows and stuff like that. But man, Ballflex, man, you asked some awesome questions. Like I said, Cash App, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, if the people want to. We've actually had a good crowd in here with YouTube and Facebook together. Follow us on these platforms as well. You see the Fahara F Vision. That's my Instagram. IVD Press is the YouTube and all of that stuff. And you see Dominique over there. He got the Owls LLC. Make sure you go and check out Owls LLC. Is that the .com too? That's .com.
No, it's just my personal Twitter handle. Just my personal Twitter handle. Yeah.
I'm talking about the Owls, the .com Owls.
Oh yeah, it's Ask Owls LLC. That's the .com. Ask Owls LLC. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, and the startup life and all that stuff. And when you look us up on the social media and things like that, you will see everything we're doing. Everything is going to be right there. So we're gonna wrap it up. But if anybody got any more questions, this is the best time to ask them. So Dominique, what's your finishing remarks on this show today?
Stop being scared of networking. Stop being scared of networking. Look, man, like we said at the top of the show, like, you know, Michael Jordan, Ballflex probably get this. Like Michael Jordan, reason he is great, not because he just had the God-given ability, but he had the work ethic. When it comes to your business, the craft, the business, or the content, whatever, it can be great. But the content, the networking part, is the other half of that equation. When you combine the two, you become amazing. You become unstoppable. You start to you start to get that cash flow going that you're looking for. Well, it's going to take time. I'm not even going to sit up here and say it's going to be overnight. But anything great doesn't happen overnight like that. So don't be afraid of networking. Add that to your arsenal. You got to add it to your arsenal. People don't do business with people they don't know, and building relationships is everything.
Yeah, yeah. And I that's an awesome message, man. And my closing remarks is, man, meet somebody you don't know. I'm telling you, because the people around you, they love you. That's why they buy your stuff. That's why they watch your videos. That's why they support your podcast. That's why they do all these things, because they know you. And they probably gonna be those people regardless. You know what I'm saying? But the people you don't know that support you, those are your true fans. Those are the people that just believe in you because they don't know you personally. They just know what you do. They believe in your clothing brand. They believe in your shoes. They believe in your car wash. They believe in your cleaners. It's something that you're doing to keep these people around.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, you want to keep getting people like that.
Right.
You want people like that to stay in a part of your brand. I ain't gonna say your life. I'm gonna say your brand, because they ain't got to be a part of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't gotta be.
They ain't got to be calling you as to how you doing every day. They ain't got to be doing all that. But what they are doing is supporting you. They're supporting us. They're keeping us at a level where if I want to listen about business, I go to the Startup Life. They know where to go. And if they learn something off that, they learn something off the Kings of Company, they're going to tell somebody else about the Kings of Company. You see what I'm saying? So that's my end right there, man. Just grind hard, man. Don't stop. Don't stop. I'm telling you, man. If it's for you, it's for you. And if it don't work the first time, that don't mean quit. That mean that I learned, and now I know what not to do next time. Or if you feel like it's just one for you and you got that feeling, hey yo, let's move on to something else. Let's do something new. Change make change, man.
Right.
All right. Anything else you want to say, Dominique?
No, I'm good, man.
All right. We're about to close this show out, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow us on all social media forums. Y'all see them at the bottom of the screen. Make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms. And you watching on YouTube today, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell and comment as much as possible. And that subscribe button, make sure you box it. Mike Tyson, box it, hit it, get it. Car accident, wreck. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we really appreciate y'all on today. We had an awesome time. Thank you to everybody, man. I've learned stuff from people in the chat, man. In the comments, man. I've learned stuff from people in the comments, and I love when we do this show and we have those type of things going on, man. So I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. And big shouts out to Lawrence. The Law, he wasn't able to be here today, but you will see Lawrence again. And when I tell you, when you ain't seen Lawrence, watch the other videos or tune in to the next episode. So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all for tuning in. We are the Kings of Company, and we demand greatness. Y'all be blessed.
Go make some